I want to talk about that actually because Mitch McConnell is trying to vote on this quickly. They want to add $250 billion more to that program for small business loans. But Democrats are out with a new list of demands this morning. They want some money for states, for hospitals, even for food stamps. How much of an obstacle do you think this is? And do you have any sense for whether the GOP is willing to sign off on some of those demands?
Well, I think the real issue is where's the need? And that's what we need to fill first and most. And the need right now is in the PPP, the Payroll Protection Program. That's where the 7A loan fund literally will go dry. Now, we know in CARES, we put $100 billion in there for hospitals, $150 billion in for states and local governments, and I believe $15 billion for SNAP. All of those accounts are still full. The Treasury hopes to have the information out to the states and local governments on how to disperse that money in a week or so. The funding for hospitals, CMS has just announced the first $30 billion tranche and how they're going to allocate that. That means there's still $70 billion left in that account. Same with the food stamp account. So those aren't in an urgent situation, running out of money, needing more money. We know as a fact the PPP program is in that urgent situation. You can see the trend lines, and we should take care of the emergency now. There are other times to argue if we have other programs that may need more funding later, but they don't need it now. PPP needs it now. That's why we should come together in a bipartisan way and not delay it. Otherwise, you're going to have all these small businesses that are hanging on by their fingernails now, who have gone to their banks or their credit unions, done all the paperwork, and it turns out they were maybe 10 minutes late or an hour late, the fund's dry. Now what do? That's not what we want. That's not going to save jobs. That's not going to save small businesses, and it's certainly not going to give the economy the shot it's going to need when we finally get out of this.
The other thing that can delay quick action, of course, is a single member objecting to a unanimous consent request or a roll call vote, or a voice vote, instead demanding a roll call vote, as Thomas Massie did on this last package. Are you concerned that he might, or someone else might, pull a similar move and force you guys to come back to Washington?
You know, it's possible. It's the right of any member to exercise. I would hope not. I would hope they would see that, you know, we had members that were diagnosed with coronavirus who, you know, were or presumptive coronavirus who were on the floor that day and found out later. I mean, we've got members that have been dealing with it. It's unnecessary. I think everybody understands the crisis we're in and that we don't have a lot of tools at our disposal other than a UC or a voice vote. We could do a voice vote again. And I thought it was interesting too. I heard a report that Mr. Massie actually missed the prior vote on the prior package when he was at another event. So, you know, come on, let's be sensible and reasonable about this. We've got small businesses going upside down and the jobs they have with them, and we just need to act, and we need to be smart and thoughtful and take care of our folks.